What is up, YouTube? I'm back. I just finished this book, The Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel. And instead of just summarizing it, I wanted to walk you through what actually stuck with me in the order he actually builds the argument, what I agree with and what I don't. Now, he opens the book up with this idea that no one's actually crazy with their money and that everyone's just working off their own experiences. And those experiences are usually the reason people act the way they do. That connects to something we've probably all been told or all heard before, maybe from our parents or grandparents, and that's simply just to not take things so personally. Life throws stuff at you that you don't see coming, and at the end of the day, it's not the surprise that matters. It's how you respond to it. And the way you build that response is through your own experiences. That's your best teacher. If you're older, this will make a lot of sense to you. The things you do, the way you act, the way you think is all based off your life experiences. Nobody can hand that to you. You have to live it, or you can find that information through reading. From here, he moves on to investing. And this is where the meat of this book is. He points out the US stock market and how over time it has historically beaten inflation over the long haul. And his whole argument is that all you really need when investing is patience and a long time horizon and one piece of math: compound interest. He even uses Warren Buffett as the example, saying something like 80% of Buffett's net worth came from decisions he made after age 10, simply because he started investing seriously as a kid and just let time do the work. And this is actually where I want to push back a little bit. I don't see how that's relevant to anyone in their 20s or 30s living right now. The world Buffett grew up in isn't the world we're currently living in. Today's people's income does not match their current cost of living, so that comparison just really doesn't land. Now, the patience and compounding idea itself, for the most part, I am with him. But there's a caveat. I think that gets skipped over. The math works clean if you're picking individual stocks when investing. There are actual winners, but most people are not doing that. They're in index funds. And to actually make money in index funds right now and let compounding work for you, you need real income behind it. I'm talking over $5,000 net a month as a party of one, no kids, because a couple $100 isn't going to move that needle when you see what one share of SPY or QQQ actually costs. So patience does matter, sure, but income matters just as much, probably actually matters much more, and that part does not get enough airtime. He then gets into the difference between getting wealthy and staying wealthy, and this is where the discipline angle comes in. Getting rich does take some risk taking, but ultimately staying rich takes humility and consistency, and that's the part that actually landed with me the most, or actually landed with me in my own experiences. If you want any real shot at succeeding at anything, it comes down to constant repetition. You don't stop, never, because consistency doesn't know which week is the one that changes everything for you. So you just gotta keep showing up. There's also a chapter where he explains that most financial outcomes come from a small handful of big wins, not from being right all the time. And you can be wrong half the time and still walk away with a fortune, as long as you're winning big on the calls you do get right. So keep your losses small. Later, he shifts into what wealth is actually used for. He says it's a tool for freedom, not used to control your own time and having the security to sleep at night. And that's basically his answer to the question everyone's actually asking with this book, or some people are, which is, does money make you happy? His answer is kind of indirect. He says wealth buys you freedom, and freedom is what actually makes you happy, not the money itself. Now, I get why he frames it that way, but I'm going to say this part with my chest here. Let's not pretend money can't buy happiness and peace, because it can. You need money to actually do the things you want, to have real life experiences, to have the freedom to enjoy your life. Money isn't the end goal, right? But it is a huge piece of building a life that has purpose in it. He then also talks about this idea that wealth is actually hidden. It's the income you didn't spend. It's not the stuff you bought with it. A lot of people think that you save money to eventually buy something flashy, whether it's a nice car or a home or whatever. But the real reason you save is for peace of mind, so that you can actually sleep at night, which I completely agree with. And if that's all you got so far from the video, that's good, because it is the truth. So save and keep saving. To me, this is the core of the book. Save your money. Don't spend everything you make. Doesn't matter if it's $5 or $500 or $20. The amount isn't the point here. It's that you never stop. That habit is what guarantees you will always have something behind you. If you're living paycheck to paycheck with nothing set aside, that's exactly where you're going to mess up. That will be your downfall. You have to be disciplined here, and whatever you set aside, just don't touch it for anything. Anyways, he can come off as pessimistic in this book. He talks about the stock market constantly and gives different examples, but he barely touches on the fact that people's income is just too low. It's the actual reason most people don't get a chance to build wealth through the stock market at all. More money coming in means better returns and more money to invest. After all, it does take money to make money. He also tells you not to be risky, and I get it, but I actually think if you're young, that's the time to take the risk and try different things. And I think that's who this book is for, young people. He finally wraps the whole book up by laying out the fundamentals, plainly, which is just live within your means, save more than you spend, let your money compound, stay disciplined, take calculated risk, and keep freedom as the actual goal. Honestly, most people already know most of this, minus the savings part, which is where I think people really fall off, especially in the long term. This book is mostly a series of stories, kind of like every other book in the space, but overall, it is a solid read. It is an easy read, especially if you're just starting out with money or personal finance. It's not a workbook. It's not handing you a step-by-step plan for your paycheck, but it does change how you think about money and why people act the way they do with it. And if you've already read a bunch of finance books, you probably won't find much new here, but for someone brand new who's just starting out with personal finance, this gives you a real foundation to build on. Now, if you read it, drop your biggest takeaway in the comments. If you haven't, go grab it if you want. Anyways, if you made it to the end of this video, I do appreciate you, and I'll catch you in the next one.